We're running. We're on day 2 of Lifestealer doing some sound design. Thus far, we have gotten this much done. And we're about 20% of the way done with this. And we have 2 more days. So it took a day and a half to get this far. But honestly, once everything's placed, we'll start to speed up. Right now, we are still in the queuing stages. So we're still looking for the sounds. We're still looking for the shit that we need to put down. Actually, let's just kind of go down and see what we got. Okay, this is our ADR track, and we're separating it by a locked layer on audio track 5. So what I mean is we're locking audio track 5, and that's going to separate our ADR from our other types of sounds. We have room tone. What we do is we use room tone to bring in the dialogue and not bring in the dialogue, to blend the dialogue seamlessly in so you don't have any blops or blips or kind of the absence of sound, so it all kind of blends together. Then we have our ambience. Our ambience I usually put at the bottom of my tracks, but just for the sake of this one, because we need a little motivation booster, we need to be inspired a little bit, so we wanted to create the atmosphere, create the emotion that we wanted to feel. So we put in this hollow cave sound just because we were kind of losing creativity. You start to burn out, so we wanted to bring in that sound just to reinvigorate some stuff. It sounds pretty good. So that hollow hum, that's kind of what the ambience does. Creates a little bit of tension, a little bit of oohs and ahs. And then down here we have footsteps. Footsteps took the longest. What's funny yesterday is actually we did footsteps for a certain scene, and because we're not in a picture lock, which I knew that going into this, we had to actually get rid of all the work we had just done. It's actually in another sequence right here. So we did all this yesterday, and footsteps are really important because they create some intimacy with our character. A lot of people just decide not to do footsteps, and you can't figure out why it sounds horrible or why your video sucks because you didn't put footsteps in. So footsteps are a big fucking deal. Moving on, we have grabs. So these are like when your subject or your talent, your character is kind of interacting with anything, hands, feet, stuff that it's grabbing. We have those on. So right here, he grabs his hand. Here's an example. It's a pretty intense grab, actually, but when it's mixed in with all the other stuff, you kind of are okay with it. And then when we put the design sounds, if you go through this process a lot, you know that all this shit has to get layered in design, like your wishes, impacts, builds, and shit like that. So we know that's going to blend well. It's not going to sound so prominent, because that's a pretty prominent sound, especially peaking up there around -18, but we'll fix that. And then we have some grabs over here. What are these grabs? Oh, him on the floor. Those act as footsteps. I know that sound kind of bad right now, but the idea is just to cue. We are still in a cueing phase. And so these are garment sounds. Garment sounds are just like the cloth sounds, the stuff they're wearing, and they're wearing some pretty heavy stuff. So we got to hear the movement. When you're moving in that, we got to hear it. And when you isolate layers like this, it's easy for you to be like, oh, that doesn't sound like it belongs. And it doesn't. Soloed when you separate it from the mix. When it all comes together, that's kind of where the magic is. That's where the viewing experience really kind of takes it to another level. So that's them stepping back. We should add a little more there, but again, we're just in the queuing phase. So those are the garments, and then here are the chain sounds. We had fun with these, but like I said, these are really weak. We are going to have to do some heavy lifting in here. We figured out yesterday that the reason these sound bad is because they don't react with our environment, meaning look at the walls, the caves. There's a lot of, the acoustics are a little different, so we're going to hear some reverberation off these sounds. And we couldn't figure that out yesterday. We were like, why do these sound weird? How do we make them sound good? Even though we're still in a queuing phase, we still need to have a direction to go to. So when we can implement things, EQ and stuff like that, just to guide or direct our creativity, it really helps with going through the process and getting it done. And so we found out that by adding a little bit of reverb, we were actually able to connect and relate with these sounds a lot more, which kind of drove the process of getting them done. Because it's really easy to be like, this sounds like shit. I don't want to keep going. So there's some chain sounds here. We got some click and clanking. So that's the new shot that came in. When I said we got rid of a shot, it was them running, and we replaced it with this. This was not in the original cut, and because we were not locked completely yesterday, we actually got a picture lock midway through, and that's when the producer called in, and we changed the cut, and we threw this shot in there, so we do have to kind of go back through and fix that shot a little bit. Now, this was our favorite one. This was our favorite piece of design yesterday, and this was our dungeon door. And again, I say this is amazing not because we spent a lot of time here, but because we kind of just laid shit down to see if it worked, and it worked perfectly. Sometimes you get that. Sometimes it's like getting a piece of music or a track that matches up perfectly with your edit on accident, and that kind of happened here. I'll show it to you guys. Yes, we kind of got to EQ and make it kind of interact with our environment a little more, but for the most part, that is pretty freaking clean, dude. That sound is a little elongated right there. Okay, so we come out real fast, and so we could bleed that out a little more just because it's so deep. Okay, so we die out right here, so we'll probably keep that level, and then we'll probably extend this. And now when we play all of those sounds together, I know it sounds like crap now, but when we play them all together, I don't like that squeak. It just sounds like, it sounds weak, you know, and that's not a, I don't think we want that to be a weak door. I think the idea of this cell, this cage, this dungeon that he's in is that, you know, it's kind of like the dungeon from Kung Fu Panda where it's just, dude, it's so hard to get out of, you know, and so the fact that he does get out of it, it proves the character is really strong, and we need to show that, and a great way to show that is with sound and using the sounds to create your environment. So the metal door, the gate, we should move on. So I got back into the project. I remember where I'm at. I remember what we were working on. I remember the hard parts now, but the tough parts that we need to figure out are the lanterns. What sound do we want these lanterns to make? Now, here's the deal. The lantern is a part of our character. So these, I don't mind sounding a little bit weaker. And when I say weaker, I mean like squeakier. They're a little smaller. They're holding the flame. That was the other thing, was the flame. We had a tough time yesterday trying to find what we want the flame to sound like. We have this right now. We have the fire torch burning. We have them lighting the torch. Oh, and we can't even hear the rumble. It's so low. What did we do to that? I know we have a low pass on it. Oh, high pass on it. My bad. There it is. Honestly, but this sounds like it's just a giant flame right in your screen. It doesn't sound like it's coming out of that because it's coming out of that cage for the flame is going to cut off some of the frequencies of the sound. So we're going to have to go in and do that. And we'll probably have to push them to the left and right. We probably want both. Well, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But we really just want to set ourselves up, and we want to be able to locate all these sounds, and we'll create buses later. That was the tough part for us yesterday, was really trying to figure out how we want those lanterns to sound, because those are kind of a big deal. We might just use design sounds, and we might just kind of flub some of the actual literal sounds that are in our scene. We'll figure it out. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm ready to jump back in. We're going to review some notes. We'll take more notes. The thing that was tough yesterday too was the fact of describing these sounds. The only other thing we can do is make these ourselves. The ADR session is tomorrow, so we have to get through all of this to send it to Michael so they can go and get the sounds we need. We only have 2 days to do this. You know, I stress a little. I think it's good for you guys to see that this isn't all fun and games. It is very stressful. There is a lot of pressure. It really just comes down to how you handle it and if you could fucking perform or not. If you could shut up and cut. So here is where we're at.
I think he's...
Today, we really just want to focus on doing the work and getting shit done. I'll do my best to kind of explain as I go. All right, first thing we're going to do is we're going to go over our list. So what we did was we made a list of sounds. I just wrote these by hand because we got to go quick. There's 5 things I check for, right? VO, ADR, Foley, sound effects, Foley and sound effects, character movements, atmosphere and ambience, and then design. Design is like whooshes, bangs, builds, impacts, risers, shit like that. We're going to wait till the end to do all of that. Right now, we really want to focus on Foley and sound effects. For example, Foley, we have chains, the gate opening, body armor, lanterns, blood splatter, spears hitting the ground. Basically, Foley's everything that you're supposed to hear. That, oh, that should make a sound. This should make a sound. We got to get all of those done. Those are the important sounds that create the environment. After that, we do character movements. Character movements are kind of like Foley and sound effects, but character movements are specific to the character, meaning anything the character does, we need to hear it. For example, if he jumps on the ground and his feet touch the floor, we need to hear his feet touching the floor. Like walking, we need to hear his footsteps. So we have to break all that shit down. And then atmosphere ambience. Well, atmosphere and ambience, I use that as kind of like a motivation booster. Every time I kind of get a creative block, I jump into atmosphere and ambience and I start designing like, oh, what do I want it to feel like or sound like? And that kind of gives me new ideas for character movements, Foley sound effects, or the shit that actually we need to hear. And then design I save for last. It's probably the most fun one. It's where you get to actually design the sounds and create the specifics and the details that add to the story. We probably won't get to that today. We'll probably get to that tomorrow. But right now we need to focus on lanterns, blood splatter, spears hitting the ground. We actually did kind of good yesterday, guys. So those are the three we really need to focus on. And if there's anything else, we'll get there. We're still focused on cueing. Okay, so we need to cue the lanterns, cue the blood splatter. Well, let's make sure that that's all we need. So let me watch through and pay attention and see if there's anything else that we need to do. ADR, all this text, Michael is going to send to us tomorrow so we can put that in. I'm also doing the final mix, so when we get the music, we'll have to duck, pump, and level shit. Looks good. That'll be designed. We don't need the inhale gas. So maybe some body cracking, like he's coming alive right here. Nah, we should do that. That's a character movement. So body cracking. So we'll throw that one in, body cracking. And I'll show you what I mean by body cracking. I actually did it for this one, and it's up here. Here we go. Is it this one? So you hear that kind of wet, sloppy, dark, deep sound of him getting up. Kind of want to put that here too. I put that in the ADR. There is an effect on this one. It's pitch shifter. So we'll have to do that again for the body. Okay, is there anything else? So we got chains. A lot of tension. This is a build. We're building up into a break here. That's going to be a tough one, but we'll get through that. That's right, that one's all offline. We're just going to separate that one, and then the hand coming up. Okay. Ooh, I didn't like that cut. I'm going to blend that a little more. Okay, so that we empty out right there. See how we kind of just lose the sound? The room tone is supposed to fill that, but because we're using like raw audio, we'll probably use like a bass atmosphere there, or some of this room ambience, this cave presence. I know we drop. I remember why we did that. We wanted to drop for the cave ambience. We want to get rid of this. We'll have to replace that with ADR. But again, we don't have all of the ADR. So we're actually doing okay. We kind of got everything connected. So like that right there, we got to get that spear hitting the ground, right? So objects, lanterns.
I think he's...
The explosion kind of...
I think he's...
So that'll be part of character. So his body getting ripped, body cracking. So that neck move, that's kind of underrated, because what is that neck move? That's the sudden realization that he's fucked. So we want to bring attention to that. So I think I'm going to put like a, kind of like what we did here, right? Because he did this neck move over here, and we wanted to emphasize it because that was the realization that, oh, something's going on. Right there. Was it this? No, it wasn't this one, was it? No. Oh, that was the gasp. We used the gasp. But here, where is it? Where's this one right here? We used the khaki pants. That. So that's the realization that he's fucked. We're actually going to copy that, and we're going to put it over here too. For those of you who think the storytelling is done in the writing, you're right, most of it, but the other important stuff, it is in the sound design. I promise you can do a lot with sound. Don't simp on it. Hopefully you guys can pick up some stuff, but it is really important. You really should take full advantage of sound when you can. Okay, so we want to put that under character. Garments. So here's the garments. I didn't take that out, did I? No. So we want to kind of... So this is a little... It's a little heavy, and it looks like it's pushed into our right channel. So that feels like it's coming from around us. I wish we could push it in. But what you could do to fix this is we could... Yeah, so we already tried taking the low ends off. Yeah, there we go. See how it's a lot lighter than this? When we take the low ends out, it makes it really light. So if we put the low ends back, it's really heavy, it's bassy, but if we take the low ends out, it's a little lighter. It's a more innocent kind of sound because this guy's gonna die, you know? We might want to take some of the mids out. Let's see. There's something to there. I don't think we want to take those out. We probably want to take the 2 out. Let me see. No, we need a little bit of bass in there. And that's not even considered bass. Maybe we'll take some of the high ends out too. Let's see what we get. Okay, so so now the sounds actually become more personal. There it is. Boom. We got it. I can't explain why that one works way better, but it's quick, it's light, and we actually could lower this a lot, huh? So what are we at? No, we'll keep it at -42, so let's see how it mixes with it. There it is. That one works a lot better. And when we get in, we'll get more intricate with the mixing and making it actually sound like it's coming from him. Right now, it kind of just sounds like, oh, that's a sound there. You get what the sound's doing. But we'll make it way more intimate with him, and we'll probably put some reverb on it. We'll probably shrink it a little bit. And when I say shrink, I mean take away some of the harshness of it. Right now, we just want to make sure that it works, you know, because I want to hear his beard scraping against the chains too. Yeah, so we'll get there. So we kind of want to hear him fumbling. Kind of the glove. Let's see what glove sounds we got. Leather, hard leather. We're going to put them in here. And actually, what I do as I'm creating is I design as I go, I organize as I go. So like this cave, door metal. What sound effects do I have? So I got fire, footsteps, grabs, whoosh. I don't have like metal. We'll say dungeon sounds. Go back to project. So door metal. Yep, that's all dungeon. So we'll come up here and we'll put these into dungeon. We'll drag dungeon into our sound effects. So you do have to organize as you go. It's really helpful. So now that we have our glove right here, let's check this out. So that was the one we wanted. So let's just see how that works. Right there is where we want it to step in. We're probably going to lower that a lot. Keep in mind, these are just cues. Let's try the other one, the surgical. Let's try that one. These ones seem too almost wide. Let's see here. I don't think I'm going to like this one either. But again, we do have to try shit out. Okay, so we're going to need some glove sounds. Those don't work either. And then what do we sound like here? That's important, him touching that. That's going to be really important. I think I said that yesterday. So let's actually do that sound right now, because that we're completely missing that. So, okay, so we actually have to go back into that right there. So he's moving. We need chain movement there. So we actually didn't even finish some of that stuff. Footsteps, grabs, garments. Okay, so where do we see? Is it this one? This is what we want right here. So see how it sounds plastic? Let's see, metal. Let's do, before we look for new sounds, let's do the sounds that we know we need, which are chains. Let's go into our chains, actually. That actually might be useful here, because we couldn't follow. I wanted to use this sound yesterday, but... Ooh, chain clinking. Into the water. So let's bring the chain sound back in. I know we're going to make them sound deeper. They sound really high. We don't want that. We want some shit like that. That sounds good. I don't know what that's from. Large movement chain. Okay, so and what I'm just dragging the sounds that I think are going to sound good, and then I'm going to mix them together. So if you see the chains around his hand right here, I'm designing for that. The lantern will be a little different. I want to put a breaking glass on it just because we see the crack, so we'll be able to visualize. We won't be able to see the crack. It might be worth it just to do that. Okay, so let's solo out the chains. Actually, I want to reverse these, right? Because it kind of has... So here we go. We go here. And then that's what I want. I want that on here. So what I like to do, if the first sniper search doesn't work, like for exactly what I want, I'll kind of widen out my description when I'm searching. For example, I need it to be about glass. Okay, what is glass doing? A glass like a cup? Is it glass like a window? Is it glass like a mirror? That's how I search for my stuff. Hopefully that makes sense. No. Maybe that one. We'll take this one in. I hope I didn't do anything. Yeah, we'll just drag it right to the timer. We'll start with that one. Okay, but I don't want to do glass right now. What I want to do is get the chains. I'm actually okay with that. I'm okay with that right there. And all of the, again, these are just cues. I'm probably not going to keep those. But what we want to do is change large movement. Okay, so let's add those and let's mix that in and see what, yeah, it adds a little more depth. Okay, so we probably want to push that too. We'll probably want to fade you out here. Again, we're going to fill this with ambience. Okay, now let's see what that sounds like with everything. Okay, so it kind of works. Again, those are going to reverb out. We know what that's going to sound like. We trust that. And we're actually, let's do this. Let's bring those back in. Let's fade those out a little. And you know what? We'll do a little softer fade. Okay, so now we want to focus on that. So let's bring the chain down. Now this chain sound is for the chains clinking. I think we talked about that too. So I know that's a little harsh. Okay, so let's put that glass crack in. I think that's going to add a big deal of... And we'll put it down here next to the lantern. I probably don't want to label this as lantern now that I think about it. Because I think that's too restricting when it comes to organizing. Yeah, that's way too harsh. I know it is. These are actually decently freaking loud. Problem here is it sounds too plastic. So where's that plastic sound? Is it right here? That, yeah. So that's the problem. That's baked in. Gotta get rid of that because it's ruining the... Actually, we don't have to get rid of it. We'll just solo without it. Okay, so now you get... See how you get a little more prominent with those sounds? We're gonna have to mix down those chains too, and I hate that I'm getting into a little bit of leveling. So that one's too far. We don't like that one. Let's see this one. When I say too far, I mean too wide. Too much is going on. I just want to crack. Let's see if we can find it. So here's our glass. Small glass debris. That's a good one. We'll put that there. Too high. Too much. Too much. Too much. Way too much. Too much. Too much. No, that's probably the one we have now. There might be something to that. Okay, so there might be something to this bag hit because that adds a little more character. But we are going to have to design it from scratch, unfortunately. Let's try that one. And you know what? Let's take off the impact and let's fade in that. I don't want to do that, actually. I think, let's try this one. There's like too much, maybe it's this right here. That. I think it's that piece that I'm looking for. Hold on. I think that's more, I think that's the direction we want to go. Let's just do a quick pitch shifter here. I just want to hear what this sounds like. Yeah, no, I don't think that's going to get what we want. Alright. Yeah, we'll come back to it. It's queued. It's queued up. We know what we have an idea. So I think we can move on. It's okay. The first time around, usually you don't get it. You got to just keep working at it. And that's a really important part because it is a close-up. So one important thing I read in the comments was the eggshells. Let's look for that. Here's the eggshell. Yeah, I think that'll work well here too. So let's throw that in there. Good shit. I don't know why I wasted that much time. I should have just done that first. That's more or less we could play with that. That's a good one. Yeah, that's what we want. And so that eggshell. Ding! Maybe we want like a metal. Maybe something like a thick metal. Let's see if we got a thick metal. Let's go back to our metal. Actually, let's check the metal we have here. Let's check the metal here. So I think we can use something like this. Let's see. So right there. Let's see if we can get that. Let's see if we can get that thickness. Maybe it's this one. That right there. Hear that? Like the unsheathing of a sword. So let's look up sword. I don't want to clank. I want more of a sheath. Let's see. Oh, some clicking right there. Okay, so let's play with those sounds. Let's play with those sounds. Did you hear the end sound? End of that one. Oh, yeah, like a little crack. And then that crack mixed with the eggshells. Yeah, but now we're missing the metaliness. It's almost like two. What is that chain? Is that the chain? That's kind of making it really wide. No. Is it this one? Yeah, and that opens up the high. Moving that one back opens up the high frequency. Okay, now what's going to happen is that's going to ring out when he puts his hand there. So it's going to be like a dum. Just to give you an idea, because I think it's important. I don't think I can describe it perfectly. I think I'm going to have to give you. I think I'm going to have to create that ring. It's almost like a metal a ding or a metal. Let's go back to metal. Let's go rapid. Let me see this one. We might be going in the wrong direction, but it's literally that. So let's go back. Let's look at metal. Okay, I feel like I can't move on until I get this. I know I've said we should. Let's do a little cheat code. I'll take this. We'll slow it down to 70. There. Oh my God. Did you guys hear that? We're getting better. See, we're getting there. We just have to like keep fucking digging. Concrete. Let's get some concrete in there. Okay, so all we have is concrete footsteps. Maybe it's a footstep we need. That's a lot, that middle one. Now we just have to make this sound like it's coming from under, and you do that with a low pass. And just throw a little bit of a low pass on it. I don't know. I think there's a lot going on. I don't know if it's worth... Okay, let's try. That's not fun. So I want to get rid of that squeak. It's too wide, and the deverb isn't really working on this one, huh? Let's get rid of the deverb. Hold on. We do need to get rid of the echo, but it's that sound that we like, though. So let's go chain. And these chains are gonna have this effect, by the way. And then there's gonna be something like this. Yeah, and so, and then right here, as soon as we go up, we bring these down. I think we let the chains kind of lead that. I think we can put the impact. I think we'll just create that in design. Yeah, so I think that's more or less what we'll do. And on that hit, we'll just do like an impact or something, and we'll do that. Okay, so let's chill on that one. I think we found it. I think I'm comfortable chilling there. Oh, we gotta hear the fire burning too. We gotta do the fire burning too. Ooh, that sounds pretty gnarly. That's a lot, actually. I like that. I like that. Cool. I think the fire adds. Okay, so the next thing on our list, so we got the lantern. The next thing on our list, lantern. Actually, let's finish the lantern. There's a couple other lantern shots I want to do. Like that right there, so let's go put that fire in. I like the same fire.
I think he's...
We're going to get that metal sound that we have over here. Lantern. So the lantern, the fire will keep on the same layer.
Think he's...
Oh, dinkies. I'm going to freaking kill you. Let's open that.
I think he's...
So this is actually going to be way less.
I think he's...
I think I'm okay with that. Well, now let's go and cue the lanterns here too. So he's way more crazy over here. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take out that that shit right there. I don't like. And then we'll drag and drop this sound in there. I think that's what I wanted to do. That's actually a lot. We're going to bring that down even more. We'll do a flame pass is actually what we'll do. So let's look for this sound. Let's bring it up in our source monitor, and then we'll do that instead. I think this will be a better intro, like, oh, new shot, like a kind of a transition sound, so to speak. So let's do that. And actually, we'll let it lead a little more than it is now, and we'll actually go here. No, probably more. Let me see. We're going to have to rebuild this sound. Then this one will come down to 15 for now. That one will go there. This one will go here. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create the fire, the flame, match the lanterns here. So now we come back. So now let's catch the on the way back sound. That whip is important, and then we'll end it with a small. Yeah, so we'll end it with that. So we do have to rebuild some of the fire. It's a pain in the ass, but it is so freaking worth it because it makes you believe it a little bit more. Yeah, no, we want that left channel. So let's go both of them. Audio channels, we'll put them both in the left because the left is where the whip is. And then we're just going to go -5. Boom. Okay, so the flames are good. Now let's just play it out. This fire passed by. This fire passed by is coming in clutch, dude. I'll probably put it here. Actually, it doesn't really make sense right there. Let me see. And you know what? We'll use that sound as a purpose for transitioning to the next shot. So we're actually going to use that sound to motivate the cut. So we're going to hear the fire. Because we use that sound as motivation to go to the next shot, which is a very easy way to kind of make the cuts flow, if that makes sense, is using sound to hide the cut. And in this situation, we use the sound, the fire, to hide the cut. And this is great cinematography, by the way. Focusing in on the light, right? Because it's kind of salt and pepper. We got dark, and then we got light, and then we got dark, and then we got light. And what I'm talking about is here, we got dark on the edges, light right here, and then we go dark again, and then we go light right in the middle, and then we go dark shadow, then we go light, then we go dark shadow again. It's a great way of layering light to focus attention, and the attention we want focused is right in the middle. So our eyes are right here, and so guess where our eyes go as soon as we cut? Right back to the main focus, which is his face. So I think that's great cinematography and lighting by Alex. Also great production design. We don't want to do body cracking. Let's do spears hitting the ground. Let's knock that out because we've been talking about that a lot. So every time the spear hits the ground, because they walk with spears and shit. The spears. Not here, so he says get the spears. So look, right here we have the spear, the wood touching the metal right there. So let's go get a wood sound, right? So we have lantern. Yeah, that lantern. I think that's a poor organizational tool right there. So I think we'll go... So we'll call this props. That's my bad. So we'll do props. We'll do spears. Let's just see if we have a spear sound effect. That would be super helpful, which I think we should. We got to have spears in there. If we don't have spears in there, I'd be disappointed. Spear. Oh, that's okay. Wood. We got to have wood. Wind, wood. So let's go wind, wood real quick. I always like wind sounds, so I always like looking at them. Okay. These are way too intense. Let's see. Maybe we could take the front end of this sound. Before we move on to wood, excuse me, let's take some of this metal stuff and we will organize it. So let's put lantern into dungeon. So food, eggshell, small glass, sword. Actually, let's do props. Medieval sword, glove, surgical, metal hit. Let's go props. Let's make a props folder. SFX. Then let's do bike falling as props. Smashed glass as props. Metal drop, props. Metal hit, props. Okay, so now we're good. Now we can focus on a specific type of sound instead of having to search through all our shit. So we wanted to take the front shot sound of that wood. It should be a peak. I think we're just going to take that. Let's see how that sounds on top of this. Yeah, so I think we'll push that back. We'll take out the certain frequencies to push that back. So let's go back to that gate sound, actually. Actually, this is all part of the gate sound, so let's bring it down. This fire does not need to be that high up on the timeline. It is not that vital. So we'll push you guys down. We'll start going a little low. Where's this? Oh, actually, this is the match. Yeah, we'll keep the match high. Okay, so let's come down here. Let's look at this. Let's solo these. And I think it was this one we liked. And then we had the little... Yeah, that's nice. I like that. We're going to keep that. Then we're going to kind of do that again over here. Ooh! Did y'all hear that? So that was a little loud, but did you hear the rubberness of the... And not rubberness, but the woo, woo, woo when he pushes it. Let me show you. Because that's the sound we want to hit. That right there. The little push. It's the little sounds. So good. Okay. So we're going to stay there because we want a little bit of that touch. Maybe it's not a wood. Or maybe it is. Maybe we just haven't found a soft wood. Let's try the unsheathing. Let's see if that's got any flavor, any pizzazz. It's hot, but hot meaning too loud, but there's something there. It's like it's almost there's like too much of the sound. There's something there. We just got to time it up. So that I like that sound. I want to push this sound over here a little. I'm going to hear it twice. So do you guys hear how that kind of him making contact? There it is. So let's hear that all together. So good. Oh my god. It's like the little sounds that look so good, sound so good, that get me so excited. Like this one's obviously hard because there's a lot you need to do with it, but it's the little, like this one right here. And so it's easy not to fall in love with those, but these ones, the little sounds, dude, that are just so good. They light me up. So a big prominent sound in this shot, or visual image in this shot, is the fire. So I do want to bring in like some fire wishes too. Even though they're far away, I think it's important to try and hear them at least once you, for example, like the psychology behind it is the first thing you see, the first piece of movement, yeah, it's the gate, but behind the gate is the light. And what we can do is we can hide it in there with the gate opening. And it's cheating in a way, meaning it's not, you're not going to hear it that far away, but we still want to add some liveliness to it because the first thing we see is the light. So we want to pair the first visual with a piece of audio. And so I think that, in my opinion, the first thing I see is the gate, yes, but it's the prominent thing is the light, which is the fire that I want to do. Hopefully that made sense to you guys. Sometimes it's hard to articulate creative things like that, so if it doesn't make sense, just leave it in the comments and I'll attack it. Spears hitting the ground we're still working on. So we just did the gate, right? That's where we were. So we were right here, which is beautiful. I think I want to add a little more down there. I want to add that contact point, which is right there. That contact point. I think I want to make it a little louder. Oh, that's right. That was we use that as the contact point. I actually don't like that as the contact point now. Now that I jump back into it, like my immediate reaction is I don't like it. So let's use that as the contact point. That's a little better. And let's check our gain on that. So that's negative 25. So we'll probably do the same, negative 25. So we have the movement. Now I just want the... That's nice. Yeah, that's way better. See, and I didn't come up with that last time, but I like that way better. And it's actually super reverby. We're going to take the reverb out of that best we can. It's going to suck, but just to give us an idea... You know what? We probably don't want the fade in. We probably just want the click. Yeah, we want the click. We'll bring it down. And I'm going based off my ears, not based off levels right now. Yeah, that sounds good. So, and it's honestly a little, it's just too spread out, but that's good. So we're moving on. I don't like that squeak. I hate that squeak in the back. Is that what this is? It's this. That's right, it's baked in. I don't like this squeak. I think that low pass effect is going to be a big deal when EQing because it does give that ominous effect, so we'll probably stick with that. But okay, so let's move on to the spears. So see how he puts it down right there. Boom, right there. So he puts the stick down right here, and this is going to go way into the back too. Oh, that's not going to work. I don't like that sound. We're going to do like metal, like a metal bar. Pole. We got pole sounds. Maybe we just make the sound real quick. right? So look, if I lightly hold it, right? But if I, like something light like that, I think we're just gonna make that sound effect real quick. Yeah, okay, so let's Foley up. Let's do some Foley shit, right, real quick. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna record with my AKG microphone. It's right next to me, it's right here. I know this is weird, but I think it's gonna be a combination of this, the rubber hitting the ground, and a combination of this hitting the ground. I think that's all we need. I don't have it in my sound effects library. So I'm gonna do it right in front of you on the ground. So here's my recording station, right? Looks like this. I'm just putting it on the ground right here so you guys can see the dumb shit that I'm doing. Okay, we're just gonna point it at the ground, just like that. This is not meant for Foley, by the way. So let's get levels real quick. I'm using an H6 and an AKG. So we're just gonna do the best we can. Okay, we're gonna start rolling. Okay, there's that one. Okay, clip 1. Clip 2 is gonna be the sledgehammer. So now let's get a little bit of concrete. Okay, so that's the sledgehammer, and then here's the... I think those are going to be fine. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those sounds. And we're going to mix them in and see if that gives us what we want. I know it's very little, it's very small, but it's the small ones that matter. So let me take the SD card out of this, and we're going to import this into the project. So we'll see how those actually sound too. Hopefully you guys could see everything. I know I look like a weirdo doing it, but whatever gets the sound. So we're going to save the project. I'm going to go here. Folder 1. So it was these ones right here. We'll just put them on the desktop, and then we'll get... So they're right here. And then what we're going to do is we're just going to put them inside of Lifestealer, which is where? So now that they're imported, right, and now let's listen to them. Let's see how they sound. And let's just see if we can mix them in. If they sound like shit, they sound like shit. It's not a big deal. We just need something to refer to. Okay, here we go. So let's use that. Oh, did I drop it in? I did. It's so small. So it just needs to be a good reference. So let's see. Right there. So let's just put it here. We'll go 15 because that was really, really low. So now let's go to denoise. Let's solo it. I'm not liking it right now, but we're going to do our best to make it work. So we got a lot of shit in the background. So now let's push that way back into the scene. That fucking works, guys. Look at that. We did it. It's not great, but the sound is there. Okay, now let's mix it and make it sound a little more woody. Okay, now let's push it back into the scene again. And we'll put some of these on it. That sounds like a footstep now. But now that rubbery sound is there. So now we're going to mix in that sledgehammer. So we have that rubbery sound, and hopefully the sledgehammer, I don't want to like overdrive. Not bad. Not bad. I'm okay with that. I would buy that, you know. Okay, that's way too loud though. Because now we have a couple impacts working. Well, let's see how it mixes in. You hear, dude, that's it right there. Is those two. Is that middle one. Good job. Okay, that's good. I'm excited. I like that one. We'll keep that. And then we'll use that sound for the wooden stick. Yep, that works. That fucking works, guys. We're good. And again, what we'll do is we'll take these sounds and we'll reverberate them, meaning spread the sound out because of the environment that it's in. It worked. Yes, it works. All it needs to do is work. It doesn't need to be great. It doesn't need to be gate level sound effect. It just needs to work. And then we'll do like a small one right here. So there's a little one right there. It's very slight. It's still implied. See how it stops right there? So we'll go right here. Dude, that one works the best. That one's not bad. That one's not horrible. Okay, cool. So these work. Could bring that one down a little bit. So he pounds it right here. Because there's a lot of EQ on it, we don't want to bring the volume up too much because we'll start to hear the kind of breakage of the audio. Okay, that doesn't have any character, that sound. That's like a dull sound. That's like hitting a dull note. It almost bounces off the floor a little bit. Let's see if we got a better one in here. Let's try that one. You know what? Let's keep a little bit of the tail end of it. We're just gonna mix it right in, right there. And so we have a little jump. We want it in a little more. Now let's just take this down a little bit. It's like so prominent in the screen, I don't like it. But with the echo, so like if we were to take this sound again and we put a reverberation on it, actually what we could do is we could pitch shift this too and make it sound a little deeper. So we'll come up here. And again, this is all EQ. I don't want to do this. Well, fuck it. I'd say I don't want to do it, but I'm doing it. So I'm going to fucking do it. Pitch shift it. All right, take this. We're going to go effect controls. We're going to go edit, and we're going to bring that shit, not the sense, but the tones. We need the garments. The garments are going to fill that void that we hear. Maybe it's not supposed to be that big of a shot. Yeah, because that's a confidence stamp. That's a confidence now. Like, hey, everything's gone. I'm confident again. We got to keep the confidence.
I think he's...
Okay, we need the lantern falling on the ground. And the pole falling on the ground. Okay, we'll throw the glass in there. We'll throw small glass. I want to see this. Yeah, I don't like it. That's okay. Yeah, so we'll do the bone organism because that's the fun stuff. We'll have a lot of energy for that. We'll really like the gory sounds. But right now we really just got to get all the practical sounds, the diegetic sounds, what you know we're going to hear, you know. So we want to get those out of the way. It's kind of hitting the poles. Let's see. Yeah, kind of like he's stuck in the poles. Ooh! We just found a good sound on accident. I accidentally extended that way too far. Like intention, dude. That's what we were missing. I like that. I like that a lot. And you know what? Let's slow that down. Oh, there it goes. Back.
I think he's...
Yeah, it's there. We're starting to capture the environment, right? We're starting to capture the atmosphere. We're starting to capture the character of this. But all right, so let's refer back to our list. What else is needed? Lanterns done. Spears done. We have fire, blood splatter, body cracking, body ripping, organism sounds. Yeah, and the fire. But the fire we did. What I want to do is I want to get this guy's body falling on the ground.
I think he's...
His body just kind of disappears, right? And so what we want to do is get those body parts falling on the ground. And so the two that I've decided are this one and this one. Because I think there's multiple pieces of his body that are getting like ripped to shreds and falling on the ground. So we're going to use these two. And we're going to see what we can make of it. They're not going to be that loud. We'll go to like 15. Where are they going to fall? So not there.
I think he's...
Right there. So we'll probably go like right here. And we'll just layer them like this and see what happens. Like they're kind of pitter-pattering all over the ground. So the reason that doesn't sound good, they end on the same note. Doo-doo, doo-doo. They're like the same thing. So we're actually going to get rid of one of them. We're going to go find a different one that's kind of more... I'm actually okay with that. Right?
He's...
Duh, I want one more. Da-da-da-da-da. Yeah, can you guys hear the rhythm?
He's...
This one's going to be way lighter, though. Maybe we do one little... Right, because he's making a decision to look away. And how quick he makes that decision is a character is a character beat. So like say you just saw your buddy die, you saw the last body piece hit the floor, and you make a quick decision to look. What does that say about our character? So we just want to keep that in mind while we're mixing this. We want to make it appeal to the audience as if he's actually watching the body parts falling. And so that's like too quick. Having that much time before he looks, I think is okay. Is good. Okay, and then on top of that, we have kind of, it's like a wet. It's almost a little gushy. There's blood everywhere, so it's like almost like a mop, like a wet mop. Okay, I guess we'll try it. I don't know where I got that one from.
I think he's.
Oh my fucking Christ!
I think he's.
That's pretty fucking intense, guys. It's not bad. We could do better, but that'll work. Okay, so what's next? Blood splatter, body ripping, cracking. Okay, so did we complete the Foley? Did we complete? Let's do some body ripping, cracking. We'll do a little bit of cool shit right here. So let's go to. I'll show you my organism sound effects. Listen to this shit. Blood. Let's just explore some of the effects in the library. Here we go, splat. You know where this would go really good? I'm just going to drag it to the timeline real quick. You know where this would go really good? Is it right here? Before we start hearing the balloon, we kind of hear this stressful. But if we do it right, you won't hear the balloon, but it's going to be fun. Let's throw a punch sound effect in there into that attack, like that first impact. All right, let's try the bell pepper. Let's take that one. So it is going to be.
I think he's.
We got the body cracking, body ripping. Yeah, so the body cracking. So that's that scene. Let's kind of move backwards. Let's edit backwards a little bit. Let's go to another part where we're going to need the body cracking. Probably right here, like some body cracking right here. So let's go back to the gore section. Ooh, I want that for the blood. Yeah, we'll have to like take out some frequencies there. If we got time, we just gotta. It's kind of muddy there. It's hard to pull out some of the sounds, but you believe it, you know. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that one. Okay, I like that one. We'll just drop this right into the timeline. It won't get cut. So use those first three. We'll come here. Take these. We'll go -20 because those are pretty intense. We want to bring those down. Those are a lot. I don't know if I like those. You know, I'm going for bone crunching. Those don't really work. Let's go for bone crunching instead of gore. There it is. We're getting there. We're finding it. Okay, we are going to lower these. Don't worry. That one doesn't. I don't think that one needs that big of a crunch, honestly. Let's just take these down already. -20. Ooh, when it comes up. Oh, I love that, dude. That's hard. That's badass, right? When he comes up, we hear the crunch. Let's see, we got anything longer? Let's do this. Let's slow that crunch down to 50. Maybe like 75. So let's go ahead, take our rate stretch tool. Oh, yes. Well, actually, we'll go like this too. We'll take those down. Actually, these are going to be way less. We're going to put a low pass on these, though. There we go. We are going to probably do pitch shifter, right? And I guess we'll just keep this on until we want to fix it. Cool, but yeah, no, that chain sound's gonna be a big deal because I think it's actually a character piece. So we're getting there. So let's go to the beginning because there's some shit we have to do here. So we want to start building that bone. So that right there, we'll probably slow that down to 50. It'll give us that darker tone. So that right there as his head, boom, that'll be the last pick. And then this will kind of... Okay, why doesn't that sound good like it belongs? Because it doesn't match up completely. This is me thinking out loud, by the way. So see how it kind of goes with his body movement? That one doesn't. So that one, I don't. We are experimenting a lot because we don't really know what we want. -50, no, what we want it to sound like yet. So I don't know how. Yeah, it might be a little too much. If we push that back in there. Right, we push those sounds back into the scene more. So right now, when we listen to them, it feels like they're right in front of us. We want, like right where his arm is, we want to push them back into the scene. And to do that, I usually do something like this. I don't think that, actually, the more I listen to it, the more I don't think that fits. And so it pushes it back. Right, so let's copy that. I don't know if it matches up completely though. And then this one we can actually bust up a little bit. I don't know, it doesn't match up really well. So we don't want to show the director yet. We do need the director to see this to make sure this is more or less his intentions, the vibe, the feeling, the tone, what he was looking for. But what we really want to do, we just want to get all the important ones in there. I know I've said that before and I'll keep saying it until it's fucking done, because just so the director, when he sees this, he can actually refer and say, nope, that's not what I was thinking, because getting something like, no, that's not the direction, although it's not what he wanted, shows that, okay, that's not what we're looking for, that's okay, let's move forward and find something else. What we really need is just clear direction, and the best way to do that is to just throw shit on the timeline. So right here we'll go. Okay, so let's throw in that cracking noise, but we'll find a different one, because it's more of like a gurgle, like a gargle type fucking noise. You know what, let's go to our motion pulse. That one's got some cool stuff in it. Oh, hold on. I like this. That right there. That fucking gargles. We're taking that. That's a good beat. And we're taking track 3 because that is the boom. Dude, this sounds like the little thing from Lord of the Rings. So now let's do this. Let's take what we did to this one. Let's bring it into this one. Pretty cool. Okay, so we'll probably put this up there with the ADR. We'll get rid of this, and I think what we're going to do is this gore, we're actually going to take, I think those, I don't like the squeaks though. That's something that we're going to have to figure out. See, those sharp jolts of the like on this, like they're like intense. Like these peaks are very intense. But his body movement doesn't represent those. Like if they were like hard jolts, like he was going like shit like that, that would make sense. But he's not. And so the idea is to smooth that out, which is why that shot up there works. And so the bone cracking, so basically what I'm saying is that the bone cracking sounds a little too intense when you match it with his actions. Does that make sense? Let's do like a slosh. Like let's just say, dude, do we have any monster sounds? Let's just look at monster. I'm going to take that first bite. Let's cut here. Let's bring this up here. He's starting to wail a little bit, right? Let's just do this. I think we'll do the whale here. Okay, let's go to that Dota sound file, because I know I'm using my stuff, but let's actually use what we were given by Michael.
No chains can hold me.
says shitty wizard. Okay. Alright, we got some badass shit here. Okay, we're gonna add a couple more layers. Like, I can't really EQ or mix these because they're already mastered. Okay, there's something there. Here, a little monster growl. Right under, actually, ADR, we're going to do some cheating. Because this is technically ADR, but because these are already mixed and mastered, we're going to create our own ADR line for specifically the monster sounds. What do we call this? We'll call it Dota. Okay, I'm going to slow that down. Then we're going to speed that back up right here. Just because I want that to be like a ramp. So we're actually going to let this sound... I think I want that sound to motivate his look too, along with the change. I want that to be longer. I want it to be like a fucking whale. I just don't like this, that right there, because he goes high, and then he comes down, so I like this part, though. I like that, because he goes up, like, we're building tension. We're not trying to end on a good note, we're trying to end on the up and up, you know? That's right, we'll leave it as is.
I think he's...
Shit! The laugh. I left the laugh in there on accident. It was actually kind of funny. The laugh fucking... on accident, I left... Holy shit, that was funny.
I think he's...
Fucking weird. Okay.
Shitty wizard. Shitty wizard.
I'm just fucking around now. Let's look up demon sounds real quick. I'll take that one. We'll take that one, because this is empty every time. I just want to put something there just to give me some...
Shitty wizard.
We'll simplify this sequence after we're done. Make everything look pretty. I like the whoosh sound effect at the end. I think it adds. Right, we can even add some... Okay, guys. We're getting a little carried away with some of that ADR, so we'll just stop right there for the ADR, and then we'll move on to... we got some body cracks in there. Lanterns, blood splatter. We did that. Body ripping. Let's go back through to the Tombstone. So I want to put the Tombstone sound effect here. Right here as he wakes up. Like you're moving a giant fucking boulder. So we'll call that a props. Now, we'll call it a Dota sound. Oh, I put it somewhere else too. Dude, we're slowly starting to get in design, so we might create that design track. This is supposed to be him coming alive. I need like an all-out wail here. Undying sounds. Okay, let's check these out. Now let's open up. Let's get that soul rip going. So this, yeah, we're getting into some design sounds. So see when you start adding design sounds, see how it kind of blends all of that little stuff together, and all of a sudden it doesn't sound as bad. So that's kind of, you just got to get it out there so it fits, you know. And I'm not gonna lie, I spent a lot of time trying to make it perfect and do this and do that. And honestly, I would suggest you guys refrain from doing that because it does slow you down. But in this case, you know, I did spend a little more time than I think I should have for my next project. Right, the lesson I'm taking away from this is to go a little quicker next time. And actually, we could go a little quicker now. Okay, so while that's going, we'll throw in this first blood right passage. Cool. Okay, so these are out. Here's the drive that we just downloaded. I want to try something real quick. I know I'm getting... This one I want to put down where he gets fucking mutilated by this guy.
I think he's...
Shitty wizard.
See how there's like there's some life to it now, you know? We're getting some life. Holy shit, guys, that's a lot. And yeah, I'd have to fix frequencies and all that stuff. But dude.
Shitty wizard.
So we're there. We're starting to see it come alive. We're starting to feel some vibes. I think what's going to be tough, though, in 90 seconds is trying to convey the emotions we need to convey from the director. So that director conversation is going to be very important. Hopefully we can get him on the stream and see if he can talk us through his ideas. Yeah, hopefully he's cool with that. Yeah, so that's the whole timeline for audio. That's what it looks like. Pretty intense. Okay, so basically we no longer need to hear the blood dripping when we cut to the shot. So we don't need to hear it, meaning it's not necessary because the point has been across. We're moving on from him getting killed to him being scared as fuck. That's the new point of this shot. So we don't want any blood spilling over into this. So we'll just make it really apparent right there. And we'll go into, so here's metal, blood, garments. Where's the rest of the blood? Is it down here? Yeah, we'll call it a prop, I guess. So I think we'll go... Okay, so it goes on, it's kind of heavy. We don't want that much, but we'll do a little bit. Yeah, okay, I think we're going to stick with that. We don't need the blood to trail into the next shot. Even though I was wishy-washy on it, I think we're going to stick with my first input. We're just going to keep it out. Come on, baby. Come on. Dude, the tension is great. Like, the tension is, like, baked in with all the good sound design.
I think he's...
Shitty wizard.
The feeling is starting to come out with these sounds. So like, again, the VO, the ADR, the Foley SFX, the character movements, though the Foley and SFX and the character movements, those are the kind of infrastructure, the foundation, the texture of your bed, of your sound bed. And then when it comes to atmosphere, ambience, and design, and then some of that special VO, ADR, that just depends on the project. That's when you start to get into the feeling. So we set up our infrastructure, we set up our foundation, the texture, as Matt put it, and then we sprinkle all that sugar on top, baby. Matt, we may have just found the gold. Okay, Metal Creeks. I think we'll try this one. We'll try that Metal Creeks because I like that lantern shot. I think that's super important, actually. So let's do the lantern shot next. We'll start with this one. I want to do that Riptide. I want to do that Riptide shot. Okay, so we're going to go to desktop. We are going to go back to Lifestealer. We're going to get that sound. Did I already drag and drop it in? I don't think I did. Sound effects. We're going to go here and blood right. Here we go. We can try to EQ, but I don't think we'll be able to EQ that sound to the level we want it at. So we'll figure it out. We'll figure it out. So we got some ADR, we got some Dota. We're going to add another layer, and then we're going to drop this down on this layer, this blood right cast. I think it's going to add. So what do we have here? Let's substitute this here. I'm actually okay with that. So we peek around there, and we'll go back through and level it. Okay, so we got the blood rip. Let's move on to like a scary tricycle, like from Saw or some shit. It's not perfect. Let's put it in. Let's try the trike, and let's do the interview or the interrogation scene. We'll definitely make it work. Okay, so let's do this. Let's kind of organize because we're getting a little crazy here. We'll call this design. Make a design folder. Okay, and then we have a Dota folder, don't we? Oh, I need a Dota track, so we'll make a Dota folder right now. Dota, we'll drag and drop it into our SFX, and then we'll take our Dota sounds. So let's do the bicycle pedal. Here we go. Let's try this. I think we'll take this and we'll take this down into props. Like right here is probably the best spot. Let's slow it down. Let's slow it down to 50. Okay, so when you're long like that, okay, we just don't want it to be prominent in the frame. We might have to get rid of some of those low ends, actually. So let's just actually, let's make this really loud. And we'll do a pitch shift, and then we might get rid of those lower frequencies too. We'll see. Let's go sheet metal. Let's see if we have a sheet metal. Sheet metal. Okay, there is one sound in here that worked pretty well for the lantern. We gotta find it. Give up on the bike. There's one piece of metal somewhere around here. This one. That was the one. Let's see, what do we got? We didn't do pitch shifter on this though. Did not do it on this one. So let's look up metal door. Let's do what Matt said. Swing. Right? Because it's like, you know, those horror films? It's like the swing squeak. Okay, we might need to look this one up. That's what it is, Matt. We found the sound. We finally got there. We did it. Okay. Can't use it from online. Let's see if there's any free sound effect sites. Let's go to BBC. We could check Sound Project. So it looks like this is Epidemic Swing Set. Maybe I have one of those swing bench sounds. You know, the bench swinging? Bench swing. Come on, do I have a bench swing? God damn it. I think we'll do that one. We'll use this one. We'll use this one. Door swinging. Let's just make sure we can use it. Oh, I went straight to my iTunes. That's great. Okay, so let's solo this layer. So what do I have here? Okay, and so we have that on. We'll just get rid of this shifter. We'll use both of these sounds to kind of create what we're looking for. Okay, that right there. We got to get rid of that. Okay, let's just make this really big. That. We'll take that one. Fuck. That's... Okay, it is going to be a little aggressive, so now we can take it down. It's just so short. We want to speed that up, or we want to make it long. There it is. Some kind of grumbling monster sound. Sounds great for up here. Maybe we could go like high pitch, so maybe we can go effects. Maybe we can go pitch shifter. So actually what I'll do is I'll put it on, I'll take all of this, bring it down. The effect that I want, I'm actually going to apply to the audio track instead. So we're going to go here. What track are we on? We're on A6, so we're going to go to A6. So we'll actually apply the reverb up here, and you'll see why in a sec. See what happens when you apply it to the track and not the clip? You get the reverberation all the way through. All right, so let's do this. We're getting heavy, it's getting big, it's getting thick. My computer's actually starting to lag a little bit, so we're moving, guys. We're moving. What we're gonna do tomorrow, we got the body rip, we got the body, okay, we got the fire. We're kind of moving slowly into design and atmosphere. We'll start building the atmosphere a little more with the echoes and the reverb and the cave droplings. We'll start building all that tomorrow. Michael just sent us some squeaks too. I'll show you the text message. So Michael just sent us the squeaks. They're right here. What we'll do is we'll download these. Well, let's listen to them. Let's make sure he... Oh, Michael hooked it up. Okay, so we're going to take these. We'll download these, and we'll throw these in for the lantern tomorrow. And so I'm going to make a note. That's what we're going to do. And then let me do something real quick. Let's line these up. Yeah, and we'll drop these into sound effects. We're going to put a red dot here, and we are going to start with those tomorrow. So we're going to save our work, and just so you guys know what it, let me show you guys what it was, you know, because we've come a long fucking way. So that's version 6. Okay, this is where we started. Very empty. The foot shot. The foot shot. Oh man. So we've come a long way, guys. We're doing good work. I'm not going to say we're making good time. I'm just going to say we need to catch up. We'll play catch up tomorrow. So we're working on it.
I think he's...
Yeah, we've come a long fucking way, guys. We've done it. So... Proud of our work. Stay proud. Stand by your work. We're doing it. Lifestealer is getting some life put into it.